Hi, my dear Astro family. So today we are going to be continuing our series on 2025 and 26. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. Please subscribe. I've got a bunch of videos about what to expect in 2025 and 26. This is going to be a couple of years that we will remember. It is a little bit of a feeling of 2020, to be frank. And my name is AstroViktor. I have been an astrologer for a good 20 to 24 years now, or at least I have been studying astrology for quite some time. And this is my passion. I'm a teacher, I'm an author, and I work with astrology full time. So if you would like to have a reading with me, you can do that. I've got a promotion running at the moment, 30% discount on all my readings, as well as 40% on courses and webinars. I've got about a good 150 courses and webinars all together. So you can find anything correlated to your own level. And if you would like to get personalized videos, then I've got a YouTube membership as well, where you are going to be receiving approximately about 10 extra videos a month. Most of these videos altogether are a good 2-3 hours long, so I really break down what it means, certain constellation for your rising sign. So it's worth a follow, but let's get started. Today we are going to be looking at Vesta in Scorpio. And one of the reasons why we do that is because Vesta almost the entire year is going to be in the sign of Scorpio. It's going to be actually entering the sign of Scorpio on the 2nd of January 2025, and then we'll be leaving on 13th of September 2025. So basically, we've got 9 months, a little bit more than 9 months in this very same sign. So what does that mean for an individual, and what does that mean to the world as well? So let's just give you a couple of general pieces of information about Vesta. Vesta spent approximately 3 months in one sign, unless it is retrograde. And this time around, it's going to be in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is very much connected to emotional healing, but we're going to be talking about the archetype of Scorpio a little bit more in depth. First of all, let's look at the agent, and the agent is actually Vesta. So some keywords that connects to Vesta: sacred duty, the keeper of the flame. It's an inner passion, conviction, dedication, and also sacred sexuality. Vesta, they were actually 6 hand-picked ladies who were looking after the fire, as well as some type of documents. They were the keepers of kind of like very important documents. And they were not necessarily allowed to be in any type of contact with men, actually. They were meant to be only focusing on their jobs. Now, if you think about the fact that they were the keepers of flame, flame is fire, and fire was used to sterilize wounds. So fire represents certain type of purification. And in the sign of Scorpio, this is a major purification, a major healing that you are meant to be focusing on. Because one of the most important keywords with Vesta is focus. As I said, these were 6 hand-picked ladies, picked by the Pontifex Maximus, actually. And the fact that they had a sacred duty, we can start questioning whether it's healthy or unhealthy, really, because they were not meant to be making any type of connections with men whatsoever. By the way, Saturn is the dad of Vesta, and Vesta and Saturn has got quite a special relationship going on, actually, because when Saturn makes a basically a return around the age of 29, Vesta is actually making its fifth return almost at the same time. So, and these Vesta virgins were actually living in fear. Why? Because obviously they had to keep the flame going. If it went away, it means that there were no fire anymore. So people would not have been able to use it. By the way, Vesta represent gender political issues as well, for example. Or if you've got Vesta in the fourth house, it could indicate that your family is led by females. Vesta is very much about the female-dominated industries. So actually, it's the ruler of airlines, magazines. But wherever it is in your natal chart, it shows that you have got that non-like devotion to something. Now, with prominent Vesta in your natal chart, it could indicate that you're going to have issues related to purity, singleness, or even sexuality in your life. But Vesta can indicate vocation and advocation also. So she's the asteroid of your spiritual mission, basically. So just a couple of keywords on Vesta. I do not want to go into this so much depth. The most important one is going to be about focus, centeredness, as well as personal integration and self-discipline. But it comes with a lot of sexual fears, guilt as well at the same time. Also, she is called as the goddess of hearth, where the fire is actually preserved. It was also a gathering point of elders and villagers. So it kind of showed a community building as well, obviously sitting around the campfires and, sharing stories. But they symbolize the virgins. And some astrologers actually assign Vesta to Virgo. Others believe that she would be the ruler of Scorpio. So we're not going to be doing that type of, um, distinction here because I do not believe that we need to be assigning Vesta to any of the signs whatsoever. Also, remember, because they were virgins until the age of 40, no one was allowed to look at them. So often it can even indicate that someone becomes a spinster or being barren as well. It doesn't mean they would ignore their sexual desire, but typically a prominent Vesta can indicate that they are not into relationship, for example. They desire or they describe intimacy more of a spiritual path or a spiritual ritual rather than, you know, just about the intimacy department. So often this is about sexual denial. Often these people might go through certain type of sexual harassment as well, or it's going to be doing the opposite. So promiscuity, being cheated on, and so forth could become a major topic in your life. Why are we talking about sexuality quite a lot? And one of the reasons why, because it's going to be spending 9 months in the sign of Scorpio. So it looks like many of us will have to be working through certain type of fears, guilt, shame, maybe shame around intimacy, maybe shame around sexuality. Maybe we are trying to deny our sexual nature. So Scorpio is one of the signs that is connected to intimacy, the penetration part. And that is quite sacred, right? Because I do not allow everyone close to me. I have to be able to trust that person. So there is going to be a major focus on trust, whether I can trust this person or not. Vesta also connects to the Madonna horse syndrome in psychology, which is the inability to maintain sexual arousal in committed relationships. Typically, it is seen in men who see women as saint or a prostitute. These men want a degraded woman. Often they want to help them. Often they think they cannot have the woman they desire. So also, um, Vesta kind of represents your navel as well, which is the center of the body. And if you really think about that, the navel was the most important part of your body when you were born. Because back when you were a fetus, your belly button was more of a belly portal. Your umbilical cord extended from it and connected you to the placenta on your mother's uterine wall. That way, the placenta could channel nutrients and oxygen to you through the cord. And then you could send back the waste, right? So the navel is the center of the body. So it's the center of balance, the center of gravity. So what it really tells me that when you are thinking about your navel, which is also very close to your sexual organs, it's just right above it, but it's kind of like right on your stomach. And Scorpio also represents something to do with finances. It really looks to me that there is going to be a beginning of a financial crisis. And by the way, Vesta represents investments also. So recent research shows that Vesta appears quite a lot in investors' charts. So prominent Vesta can show someone who is interested in investments, trading, entrepreneurship, for example. And also, she seems to be coming up in political leaders' charts too, quite often. So there is a lot to mention about Vesta. I would be able to talk about her for hours, most likely, without just going into the sign. But today I want to be focusing on Vesta in the sign of Scorpio. So remember, we all have a Scorpio cusp in our chart. So that we will become a focal point for you. So for example, Scorpio is my ninth house. So maybe education, travel, my belief system are going to become a focal point for me. So it looks to me that we are going to be very devoted to our intimate part of our chart. We can become more obsessed with our mission to figure out what is the reason for being here? What does it mean to be a human? We can become obsessed to change something in our life. You can even become very determined to see what is going on behind the scene, kind of like underneath the carpet. Because Scorpio is the sign of investigation. So we're focusing on figuring something out. It's kind of like sweeping out the dirt from the subconscious and investigating secrets. By the way, Vesta in Scorpio is highly intuitive. So we are asked to listen to our gut feelings. Scorpio represents crisis situation as well as changes. So allowing the change to enter our life would be very important. The changes are actually empowering you to even achieve more transformation in your life once you start seeing the results, of course. This Vesta in Scorpio focuses on the truth, searching your own truth, searching your spiritual mission. You come across a lot of mysteries and you want to kind of figure out, where the missing piece to the puzzle is. You become more observant. You observe what is happening around you. You might even use your own seductive power to get what you want. The scorpionic part of your chart becomes sacred to you, your little baby. We are very focused on secrets. We want to figure something out. Obsession becomes maybe your fuel. Maybe obsession becomes your own motivation. Scorpio is said to be quite a dark sign. So therefore, scorpionic part of your chart is filled with a lot of psychological complexes. So it could indicate that there could be a focus on other people's money, taxation, for example, or on the psychological makeup of others, or even your own psychological makeup. But Scorpio is about power, money, and wealth. So how much money does certain individual make? Where does the tax money go? This could become quite a big question. Or simply you are focused on something that you cannot control. And that is where the problem would start. Because trying to control the uncontrollable is pretty much of a waste of time and energy. Something can eat you up inside out. So it carries a lot of anger and frustration also. As I mentioned, Vesta is said to be the asteroid on the investments also. So it shows simply that the investments are too risky in 2025, or at least it's very volatile. We're going to see ups and downs here quite a lot. Or also because Scorpio is very much about secrets, so we might be very focused to keep a secret, to keep something close to your chest. Also, we should focus on healing. That is the point of transformation, kind of like leaving something behind and starting something anew. And that's Scorpio. Scorpio represents death and rebirth. This is not necessarily death on a physical level. This is leaving behind something that is outdated, not needed anymore. Let's move on. Some of us will have to deal with shame and the feeling of guilt. Some of us, yes, will lose someone dear in their life. Vesta is quite sexual, as I said, just like the sign. So there is a need to focus on sexual traumas, on sexual healing, or how to be more intimate with others, how to create a stronger bond, a stronger alliance. You might be very focused to cut out anything that is superficial in your life. Maybe these are relationships that we are talking about. Maybe it's money issue. How much money control your own life? You might even question whether someone is trustworthy or worth spending time on them or with them. Now, when Vesta enters the sign of Scorpio, we also have a Pluto-Mars exact opposition. They're just seconds away from each other. So it looks to me, why am I looking at Pluto-Mars? Well, one of the reasons why I'm looking at it is because Pluto is actually squaring Vesta while it's opposing Mars. So straight away, we've got a T-square going on. And the Pluto-Mars opposition, there is a focus that is going to be on power struggles, a focus on a fight against systems and freedoms. Because Pluto will be in the sign of Aquarius, as you can see on the chart. So Pluto-Mars is all about kind of like the freedom fighter. This is the battle of politicians, pretty much. Also, this could indicate, because with Mars, it is always somehow like a struggle. So, because Mars is in the sign of Leo, and Leo is very much about like leaders, so it really looks like there is this leadership impact to it. So there is a focus on the leaders. Pluto and Mars also can indicate for me that there are intense challenges, potential conflicts going on. And someone is trying to make a change, a profound change. On a personal level, this is about you focusing on making a profound change. For example, how to express your own desires, how to be more powerful, how to pursue something, how to achieve your own goals. But because it's an opposition, you are held back. There is something out of balance here. It's kind of like you're trying to go for something and then you run into this sea monster. And then the sea monster is actually you're going to have to pick a fight with them. So I have to conquer the battle first so that I can get somewhere where I want to be. So it looks like there is going to be a major focus on that. So Pluto Mars power struggles, conflicts, but also Mars is trying to bring kind of like pry up deeply buried emotional matters. So it's trying to bring something out, deeply buried emotions, especially anger or frustration, all needs to come to the surface, all needs to be addressed or managed. Oppositions are like an out of balance type of energy. So we tend to be focusing on either Pluto or on Mars quite a lot. This is also about the transformation of your personal power. What does it mean to be strong? It's about the re-evaluation of your goals. So it looks like some of your goals are changing, going through a certain type of purification. You making changes to something. But we are in fixed signs. That is connected to stubbornness. I do not want to make these changes. And Pluto in Aquarius, it says that we need to go ahead. We need to kind of change with the time. We need to be upgrading something. So we cannot get stuck in the past. Pluto Mars is also telling you to use your kind of like magnetic skills. Yes, it could be very shady and kind of like trying to manipulate and influence others as well, just in the wrong way. Because I need you to believe me. I need you to pay attention to me. I need you to cherish me. Pluto Mars, sorry, we got cut off for a couple of seconds. I'm just going to be repeating the sentence to be sure that you heard what I wanted to say. So this is about the reevaluation of your goals using your magnetism and also demanding attention. Mars in the sign of Leo. I need you to listen to me. I need you to trust me. I need you to cherish me. And oppositions often come up with relationship challenges. So, conflicts. Surely in the world, we're going to see some political conflicts coming up. And this Pluto Mars opposition, by the way, going to be happening 3 times. So, this is a major transit. And Vesta is pretty much highlighting it. Yes, of course, this aspect would talk to you about having to kind of like finding a solution to a certain type of conflict as well. I mean, it's good to remember that we all gonna have our fights to pick. We need to remember that we all get into some certain type of conflicting situations. How we handle those situations, now that's what matters here. And Vesta would like us to focus on that. It's very easy to get obsessed or fixated on wanting to win, to dominate someone. I mean, I think pretty much you see, oh, and then one more thing. How are you gonna motivate yourself? Because this is also about empowerment. This wants to encourage you to grow, to find your own strength, to find something that motivates you. Because we're going to be running into big obstacles and we're going to have to be able to kind of like, we need the strength to be able to, overcome those obstacles, to kind of jump over that big wall that is right ahead of us. And sometimes you just need to dive deep to find where it originates from. Okay, so that is the Pluto Mars that we straight away we see with that Vesta. And you might think, okay, it's going to be lasting for a couple of days and so on. But no, actually not. It's going to be 9 months long, because that's the ingress chart. And the ingress chart is pretty much describing what to expect in the upcoming period of time. So let's move a little bit forward, because I still have got, a lot more to talk to you about. First of all, Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius. So that is about what it means to be free. How far these politicians can go. What are they allowed to do? How much do they earn? These could be some questions. Of course, this is very close to the elections and inauguration, right? So surely it will not go down without a fight. Surely not. This could also show a huge focus on money struggles, how much debt the country is in, how much debt I have. Also trying to kind of release certain type of secrets about certain politicians. There is going to be a big scandal coming from January onwards, because it's an opposition. An opposition shows that secrets will be revealed about celebrities, politicians, world leaders. There could be a focus, for example, on some types of attack as well, actually. Like a terror attack. That's very Pluto Mars as well, unfortunately. But Vesta also represents sacrifices. So what type of sacrifice do I need to make to find balance? Vesta is also the planet of home and domestic issues, as well as cooking. Vesta appears quite a lot in chef's chart, by the way, like chef celebrities. Martha Stewart is a great example. For example, she has got a North Node at Vesta conjunction. Obviously, she had her fair share of other stories as well at the same time. Scorpio also rules mafia, criminality, healing, and the prevention of crisis situations too. So there is a major focus around these. So guys, I think this is enough for today in regards to Vesta in the sign of Scorpio. How do you see Vesta moving in here? What would you say that this is going to be, the impact for us? It's going to be impacting everyone in different ways. So to give you a couple of examples, maybe if it happens in your first and seventh house. Vesta is in your first house. Sorry, I was focusing now on Pluto Mars, but Vesta, let's say, is in the first house. So you've got a Scorpio rising sign. Then this could bring you some intense conflicts and power struggles, because you want to be expressing of who you are, but someone might not allow you, for example. Or if it's in your second house, you have got certain type of maybe arguments or focus on financial conflicts. Someone owes you money and so on. But this is something that I will be talking to you about in your personal forecast. So every single sign will receive at least a 1 hour video. So when it's going to be released in the month of uh, October. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Please press like, subscribe, show your gratification or gratitude. Maybe that's a better word. Have a lovely one. See you soon. Bye-bye.